Why is it that America's best soccer players have to go abroad these days? And the most notable example of this is Christian Pulisic. He left the United States system in his teenage years, and in the past few years at Borussia Dortmund in Germany, his progress has been stupendous. He is now the star man for the U.S. men's national team, and he hasn't even hit his 20s yet. So it's interesting when you compare the U.S. soccer ecosystem to the rest of the free world. What's the difference? Why is it that when American players leave and go abroad, they seem to excel in their development? And why is it that many promising talents here in the States, when they stay domestically to ply their trade, they seem to slow down in their development and they underachieve and ultimately don't reach their potential by their prime years in their early to mid 20s? And the difference is in open systems around the world, there's pressure every single day for your place in the team and ultimately for your livelihood as a professional player. So that means every hour of every day, every single training session, every single match, you are playing for your place, whether it be in the first team, in the starting lineup, in the reserves, in the youth team. You must bring it every single training session or you'll lose your contract. You'll be let go from the club. The same thing applies with clubs in open access promotion relegation systems. Clubs are literally fighting for their existence. If you are relegated and you drop below a certain point in your nation's tiered system, then what will happen? Your revenues will go down and you'll collapse as a club ultimately, or you'll go bankrupt. You may not die, but it will threaten your livelihood and existence as a club. So both clubs and players are under real pressure, and that pressure is very, very heavy. Now, if you compare that with the U.S. system, well, yes, you are playing for your job as a player, yes, but there is also much less competition. These stakes are much lower, so there's not as much pressure for players here in the U.S. soccer system. It's that simple. And the same thing with our club system. Well, we look at our Division One. MLS has exclusive control of Division One. It's one single club, remember, and it cannot be relegated. So if you're terrible as one of the MLS teams, what's the point? If you're terrible for a season, you'll be back next year. So once you're out of it, you might as well just pack it in and dream about vacation, right? So it's no wonder that players who opt to stay in the U.S. ecosystem ultimately don't reach their potential. What's the old saying? Pressure produces diamonds. And it seems like the more the pressure, the greater the results. And not everyone can withstand the pressure. Yes, there will be people who ultimately fail under pressure, but that's why high pressure systems are good, because the best ultimately rise to the top. The same thing with something like weightlifting or training. Athletically, you have to push yourself to your limits so you can reach greater heights. And when you are in the real, authentic, open access soccer ecosystems of the world, you are forced to bring it every single day. And it's no wonder when you look back over months and years of development, you see that you have improved greatly, which a guy like Christian Pulisic can look back and say that he's done. So how do we bring this real world pressure into American soccer? Well, we can't fake it. We can't just slap names on everything and say, hey, we're an academy or we're an elite FC. You can't just put a label on something and replicate the real thing. I've also heard it suggested that we should bring back former pros who have played in real world systems and have them teach the younger U.S. players how to train with mentality of the global soccer ecosystems. And that's just simply not possible. You can tell stories all you want, but until it's real pressure, it's not going to have a significant impact on the USA soccer ecosystem. So what's the only solution? The only solution is to use the same system that the rest of the world uses. Why don't we run our soccer like the rest of the world? We wonder why we don't get the same results as world soccer powerhouses. It's because we don't use the same system. We've forsaken the open access essence of USA Soccer, and until we choose to apply the essence of soccer to the American game, we will vastly underachieve and we won't reach our ultimate potential as a global soccer juggernaut. So if you like this video, make sure to share it out on social media and also subscribe right here to my channel. And I'll talk to you soon.